Lamar drops back. He looks left. He throws it over the top. It's picked. The Honey Badger's running down the left side of the field. He could go all the way. Touchdown, Chiefs. Whether you know him as the Honey Badger or the landlord, I'm going to talk to you today about NFL All-Pro safety Tyrann Mathieu. I'm Stephen Thomas, and as a football fanatic and someone who just loves a good inspiration, Tyrann Mathieu is one of my favorite players, and I think it is important that we talk about him today. I took some time to look up my own research and do some research on some experts to see some stuff about his life. So today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Tyrann Mathieu's home life and high school career, his college career, and his NFL career. Let's start by discussing some things about his home life and high school career. He was born on May 13, 1992 in New Orleans, Louisiana. According to an article on GQ on September 10, 2020, entitled Tyrann Mathieu's Got Nothing But Love, states, he grew up in New Orleans, first under the care of his grandparents, and then with an aunt and uncle. His biological mother was absent, and his father was serving a life sentence since Tyrann was young. His aunt and uncle were his parental figures for most of his life and put many religious inputs into his life, but Tyrann was in and out of trouble as a young kid. He attended St. Augustine High School in New Orleans, where he was a superb football player and an outstanding track and field athlete. He was a member of the relay team and was a state top performer in the long jump. He recorded 32 tackles, 5 interceptions, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble in his senior campaign at St. Augustine High School as a Purple Knight. He finished his career as a 4-star recruit and was listed as the nation's 13th top cornerback in the nation as the 2010 rankings came out. Now that I've shared a little bit about his home life and high school career, I'm going to share some stuff about his college career. Tyrann had a rough but very productive and outstanding college career. Some people consider him the most electrifying college athlete of all time. Ty had 7 Division I offers coming out of high school, but he knew where he was going to go all along if they would just give him the chance. In an article on And the Valley Shook by Richard Pittman entitled 2010 Recruiting, states that St. Augustine cornerback Tyrann Mathieu was offered a scholarship by LSU head coach Les Miles and accepted it on the spot. Growing up watching the Tigers, it was always his dream to wear the purple and gold and play in the Valley. He played 2 seasons at LSU and was an outstanding defender and was even a better special teams player. As a true freshman in 2010, he played in all 13 games in which only 1 he started, and he finished with 59 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 interception. He earned honors for the MVP of the 2011 Cotton Bowl Classic. So in his sophomore campaign, he wrapped up a whopping 77 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, 2 of those which were returned for touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, going along with his 2 punt return special teams touchdowns. So, he was named the MVP of the 2011 SEC Championship game, and he earned the Chuck Verdnick Award and was a Heisman finalist, which was very rare to see a cornerback as a Heisman finalist. After his sophomore year, though, his career took a turn for the worst, and it was announced he was dismissed from the team, and he almost never stepped back on a football field again. On August 10, 2012, Les Miles announced that Mathieu would be dismissed from the team there was never any real reason coming out, but came out later it was because of drug problems, and he withdrew from LSU and entered a rehab drug center in Houston, Texas after that. On September 4th, 2022, he ended his withdrawal from LSU and enrolled at LSU in fall courses and planned on returning to the football team. But on the October 25th, he was arrested with 3 other LSU football players for possession of marijuana. So he took it out, or he was dismissed again from the team, and he took the season off and took the year off to prepare for the 2013 NFL draft. So I've shared some things about his college career and some things about his home life and high school career. So now I'm going to share some things about his amazing, astonishing NFL career. It wasn't easy, but Matthew eventually reached his goal of going to the NFL. In an article on AL.com published on February 20th, 2013, entitled NFL Draft, Matthew Getting Prepped, states that a year removed from his last football game, Tyrann Mathieu has been getting some inside help in preparing for the NFL from his former college teammate at LSU, Patrick Peterson, Cardinals cornerback. Matthew spent the year before the draft preparing and taking care of business that he had to off the field. At the NFL Combine, he measured 5'8" and 186 pounds, and he ran a 4.5 40. So he was not a huge guy, not a real fast guy, but he had the heart. So Patrick Peterson convinced the Cardinals and Bruce Arians to select Matthew in the 2013 NFL Draft in the 3rd round as the 69th overall pick. He had a pretty steady career in Arizona, but he had a couple seasons that were affected by injuries, which really kept him from performing to the highest of his potential. He was released in 2018 after refusing to take a pay cut after they were trying to bring more players in. Shortly after being released, he signed a $7 million one-year deal with the Houston Texans. He finished his one season with the Texans with 89 tackles, 8 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions. This really was the season that he was injury-free the whole season. He started showing the NFL like really how good he could be. In March of 2019, he signed a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. And today I have worn my Tyrann Mathieu Kansas City Chiefs jersey, one of my favorite players on the Chiefs. He has been very productive on the Chiefs and is one of the main leaders on the defense. He is the main leader on the defense. And he missed week 1 of the 2021 season due to COVID after he had the COVID shot. But in week 2, he was already back and he had 2 interceptions, one of those which he returned for a touchdown. So he is a guy that makes a pretty big impact. So today I've discussed Tyrann Mathieu and his high school and home life, his college career, and his NFL career, and I hope that y'all all learned something. So today I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite Tyrann Mathieu quotes. 6 years ago, I was arrested, kicked out of school, entered a rehab, got a call my best friend got murdered, stick dropped. Most of the people I thought loved me turned their back on me. Only a few cared. I'm here to tell you to fall forward, and you never know what your future has in store.